Entering the Mayo experience.
Mayo experience. Mayo experience. Mayo experience. Experience.
What up, everyone? Pat Mayo here, Pat Mayo Experience. This is going to be a quick little mini update on the waiver wire show from Monday because we got 2 trades so far, at least, to break down. Meanie and I actually talked this one out on the Monday waiver wire show, which I recommend everyone go back and go watch. Well, smashing the like button on this one as well helps keep all this stuff instantaneous and free. But Demaryius Thomas gets traded to Houston for a 4th round pick. Considering that the Cowboys just spent a 1st round pick on Amari Cooper. Sounds like bad value on that one. So let's assess this from the Broncos side first. Emmanuel Sanders is beat up with a shoulder injury. He's probably going to end up playing this week. Whether he plays or not, this is going to increase the market share pretty substantially for Courtland Sutton. He's now the #1 waiver wire pickup over Kiki Cutie this week in my rankings. You can find that in the description or updated up on DKPlaybook.com. That will stay updated through all of the trades that happen throughout the day, but he is the major one to go get. He's probably at top 30 upside. He's going to have good weeks. He's going to have bad weeks, but with Oakland still on the schedule, there's still some nice matchups upcoming for the Broncos that if you're going to get like 20 to 30% market share in any sort of offense, Case Keenum's not abysmal, so he's going to get him the ball a lot of the time, plus a very good red zone threat for Case Keenum as opposed to Emmanuel Sanders. So don't expect the world from Courtland Sutton, but a wide receiver 3 with upside the rest of the season is something you can look forward to. That's well worth burning your #1 waiver priority on. For the Texans, with Demaryius Thomas, I honestly think in PPR scoring, as long as they're both healthy the rest of the season, I know Cutie's dealing with a hamstring injury right now, that Keek da Sneak probably outscores him in PPR formats. DT looks kind of washed. Not going to lie to you. And what we saw in the 3 wide receiver sets when you have Hopkins, Fuller, and Cutie on the field, that we saw a substantial decrease in the target share for Will Fuller, and a lot of those went to Kiki Cutie. I would expect a lot of the same with DT on the outside, that they're just going to pepper Hopkins with the ball. He's going to remain unchanged, and Cutie might end up with more targets, even in a revenge game against Denver this week. I'm not even sure if he ends up playing this week. I'm not sure if Cutie ends up playing this week. But when we're looking at it for the rest of the season, this might be a prime opportunity to sell Demaryius Thomas. Is he a top 30 receiver the rest of the season? I'd probably say no. He might be like 32, he might be 39, 41. I think that Cutie has an easier path to PPR scoring running out of the slot for the Texans than Demaryius Thomas does as a wide receiver 2 on the outside. But I'm running a poll right now on Twitter that you can go see what the people think. Right now, there's still 3 hours left in the poll. We have around 700 votes in that 6 out of 10 people think that Cutie will outscore DT this season. That actually somewhat surprised me. So gauge the market value for Demaryius Thomas. People always get really jazzed whenever anyone gets traded, so that's something to look out for. On the other side here, we got Golden Tate, and Golden Tate has been traded to the Philadelphia Eagles. So you got Elshon on the outside. You presumably think that Tate goes into the slot, pushing either Aguilar or Jordan Matthews to the outside, spots where they're not great. Now, maybe Tate plays the outside. That's happened in the past, but he's far more effective out of the slot. So what does this mean for the Philadelphia offense? So you think that the concentration of Aguilar and Matthews snaps all go to Tate right away. I think he does take away from the bottom line of Zach Ertz. So maybe he doesn't keep averaging like 13 targets a game. Maybe that drops to like 8, 9, or 10 if some of those get funneled towards Tate. And maybe Dallas Goedert doesn't end up posing the once every 3-week impact that he's seen. I like Tate, especially more than like Demaryius Thomas, like him more than Cutie and Sutton the rest of the season. But I think that Sutton and Tate will be relatively close because at best, you have to think maybe that there's a ton of targets for Golden Tate. You think that Ertz is probably better. You think that Elshon's probably better the rest of the season. There's only so much fantasy goodness that can go around. He's probably a low-end wide receiver 2, high-end wide receiver 3 in PPR scoring the rest of the season. For the Lions, fire up some Marv Jones. Here we go. He's back on 2 touchdowns last week. He was completely written out before that, but now he should end up seeing a massive bump in consistency week to week. Same as Kenny Golladay, who was disappointed the last 2 weeks, that it just frees up more market share for these guys. TJ Jones will probably end up playing the slot, so in deeper leagues, he is worth a look in this situation. He is he had a baby with Teresa from the Challenge, so that's always a boost for anyone, but he is someone to look at for deeper formats. Maybe he gets involved. Maybe they move Theo Riddick to the slot once he comes back, or at least get him on the field at the same time as Kerryon Johnson. We don't really know what's going on beyond the top 2 receivers, but you can give those 2 a significant boost for the rest of the season. If there are more trades, I will cover them Tuesday night on my ranking show with Gary and Thorne and Jake Seeley. Should be out around 10 p.m. Eastern Time Tuesday for the video version, a bit before that for the audio version. So see you then, give the episode a like, and I'm out.
That Mayo experience! Experience!